The stormlit sky of Varellin 3 flashed violet as Sergeant Sarah Halle stepped out of the outpost gates, her boots pressing into the moss-like ground that pulsed faintly under each step. To her right walked Jack Rowan, her fellow human and the only person on the base who could convince her to take a night patrol without complaining. The air smelled of metal and wildflowers. Strange combination the Voroloni called Kathiri, bloom season. When the forests glowed at night and every predator with more teeth than sense prowled under its neon canopy, the humans were out searching for 3 Voroloni cubs, younglings barely a year old. Small, fuzzy, horned like goats but striped like tigers, they were endlessly curious and endlessly troublesome. They belonged to Captain Threx's sister, and if anything happened to them, the outpost would know the fury of a grieving Voroloni. Matriarch, a force even humans preferred not to test. Patrol Team Delta reporting, Sarah said into her com. Still no sign of the cubs? Their scent trail ends near the ridge. Copy, Captain Threx answered, his deep gravelly voice tense. Their hearth-warmth signatures faded 10 minutes ago. Find them, please. Jack elbowed Sarah gently. You hear that? He actually said, please, he must be terrified. He's not the only one, Sarah muttered. This forest eats things. Jack grinned, brushing a hand through his wind-tossed hair. Relax, kids wander. We'll find them. But Sarah wasn't convinced. The forest stirred the deeper they moved into the bioluminescent woods. The stranger the sounds became soft chirps, clicking pulses, distant rumbling. Leaves the size of blankets unfurled and curled as if breathing. The trees swayed even without wind. Sarah kept her scanner up, jaw tight. Jack walked beside her with the calm of a man who'd been through too many missions to be intimidated by glowing vegetation. Until, beep, 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 Danner scanner lit with a faint thermal reading. 3 signatures, small and warm, clustered together. Her heart jumped. I've got something. 40 meters ahead. Jack squinted. Is that Snoring? They pushed aside a curtain of shimmering fronds and Sarah. Froze. She expected monsters, panic, injuries. Instead, 3 Voroloni cubs were curled up peacefully on Jack's shoulder, not near him. Not beside him. On him, all 3 fuzzy bodies used him like a human-shaped pillow, snoring softly, their tiny claws gripping his shirt. Jack blinked at Sarah, bewildered, arms held awkwardly as if afraid to disturb them. He whispered. I found them? Sarah raised an eyebrow. You found them? Or they climbed you like a tree? They ambushed me? Jack offered helplessly. Sarah buried her face in her hands. Jack, they're infants, not commandos. One of the cubs squeaked and nuzzled deeper into the warm space between Jack's neck and collarbone. Another draped its striped tail across his chest with proprietary confidence, as if claiming him. The third gave a tiny sneeze. Jack almost melted. Sarah, they're so cute. Don't yell at them, I'm yelling at you. The call back, she tapped her comb. Captain Threx, this is Sergeant Halle, we've located the cubs. Threx's exhale was pure relief. Alive? Very healthy, comfortable. Where are they? Sarah slowly turned her comb toward Jack. Threx's voice went silent. Then, are they sleeping on the human? Jack cleared his throat. Sir, they seem to like me. That, Threx rumbled, is an understatement. In Voroloni culture, younglings only slept on beings they trusted deeply, and only after sharing scent, warmth, and heartbeat. They did not choose lightly, but here were 3 cubs, descendants of a proud warrior species using Jack as their personal mattress. We're bringing them in, Sarah said. Carefully? Threx added immediately. Do not wake them. Jack stared at her. How am I supposed to walk like this? Very carefully. He sighed and followed her. Stepping like a man carrying unstable explosives, the journey back moving through the forest with 3 softly snoring cubs attached to him was the greatest test of coordination Jack had ever attempted. Sarah walked ahead, scanning for threats, though her eyes kept drifting back to him. You know, she said, Voroloni cubs don't pick random people. They've imprinted on you. Jack blinked. Imprinted? Yes, you're basically a second father now. His mouth dropped. Sarah, what? I'm just telling you what the biology books say. He groaned. I'm not ready for alien fatherhood. Too late. As they walked, the cubs snuggled deeper. One pawed at Jack's chin. Another curled around his shoulder like a scarf. The smallest tucked its nose into his collar. Sarah? Jack whispered, Yeah? I can't feel my left arm. Because a cub is drooling on your artery. Great, just great. But there was fondness in his voice, warm and genuine, arrival at the outpost. The gates opened to reveal half the outpost gathered, including Captain Threx, towering, horned, armored, and looking like he was moments from hugging or headbutting someone. The moment he saw the sleeping cubs, his fierce expression softened. By the stars, he whispered. They chose you? Jack froze. Sir, I swear I didn't do anything. Threx approached slowly, reverently, as if approaching a sacred shrine. He sniffed the air and nodded. You smell like hearth warmth to them, comfort, safety? Sarah snorted. See, alien father? Threx turned to her. Human Hale, the cubs chose you too, Sarah blinked. Me? They didn't climb on me. You kept their chosen guardian safe? Threx said. That is enough. Sarah looked away, suddenly flustered. Together, they gently lifted each cub though they protested with tiny grumbles, and placed them in Threx's massive arms. The captain bowed to both humans, a gesture of immense gratitude. You have my clan's debt, he said quietly. Forever. Jack rubbed the back of his neck. We're just glad they're okay. As Threx turned to leave, one cub suddenly reached out toward Jack, tiny claws stretching in longing. Threx paused. It seems, he said, you will be required to visit often. Sarah smirked. Told you, fatherhood. Jack groaned again, but this time, he didn't hide his smile later that night back in the barracks. Sarah sat polishing her sidearm while Jack lay on his bunk, staring at the ceiling. You're thinking too loudly, she said. Jack sighed dramatically. Sarah, what if I really am their second dad? You'll be great, she said without hesitation. Because I'm responsible? No, because kids human or alien love chaos. And you're chaotic. Jack threw a pillow at her. She laughed, dodged it easily. Outside, the storm finally calmed, leaving the sky glowing with the soft light of Kathiri blooms. The forest hummed with peace, as if acknowledging a bond forged in the most unexpected way. Sarah looked at Jack, at the faint scratches on his neck from tiny claws, at the lingering warmth in his eyes. You did good today, she said softly. Jack smiled. We both did. And somewhere in the outpost nursery, 3 cubs snored softly, dreaming of the human who carried them through the storm, warm and steady like a walking hearth fire.